I suffered with years of joint pain. I thought that was just my lot in life until I changed that narrative and took action. And I'm not talking prescription drugs. Tune in to today's show to hear how I have not only managed my joint pain due to my rheumatoid arthritis with minimal to no pain now. I am so glad that you're here, and I am so glad that I'm here. Welcome to the Gluten-Free You and Me podcast, and now also YouTube. I am now featuring all of my episodes on YouTube because I want to reach out and I want to help each of you tuning in today, wherever that may be. And as always, I am your host, Coral. This is season 2, episode 12, Joint Pain and Healing Your Body. This podcast is brought to you by my very own gluten-free transformation coaching program. Eliminating gluten from your entire life can be such a daunting process. From what to make to dinner, to grocery shopping, 504 plans, holidays, get-togethers, and also the emotional toll it can play in your life too. This program is not only for those of you just starting out. If you are feeling overwhelmed with any aspect of gluten-free living, this program is for you. Don't accept a mediocre life. Let me help you make gluten-free living your best life. The Gluten-Free Transformation Program, or what I like to call the GFT program, consists of one-on-one coaching, a custom-tailored course with resources, gluten-free shopping guides, recipes, and a workbook to help you stay on track. And it also provides so much more. I will teach you the skills and lessons that took me years of trial and error. I've now spoken and traveled with the top leaders in companies and organizations in our gluten-free space. I will be with you every step of the way to help you create your customized gluten-free playbook. All of the tools provided will help you learn, apply, and elevate your personalized plan of action. You will be set for gluten-free success. And I would be so honored to be your gluten-free coach and to have you join the program that will not only take you to the next level, but will set the foundation for your entire life. This program will take years off of your gluten-free grind to help you create the ultimate gluten-free success story in a matter of a few months. Imagine how you will feel when you are prepared and ready for all of the gluten life throws at you. You can learn more about the program at glutenfreewithcoral.com. You can also find the link in the show notes below. So let's dive into today's show. I want to share with you my personal journey of joint pain. Now, it didn't just come on one day and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have rheumatoid arthritis. This has been years in the making. I wish I had answers that early. I wish I had the answers that early for celiac disease too. I struggled for 16 years before I knew that. Rheumatoid arthritis isn't too far behind on that one too. 15 years ago, I became a diagnostic medical sonographer. I do ultrasounds. I scan babies in the womb and I love it. I love it, love it. It's one of my greatest passions that I've had in this life. And as I'm doing so, as I would have the bigger patients where I need to like put the probe into the belly and really get an image that I needed, I had to add a lot of pressure. And all of a sudden, my wrists started cramping up or even locking. And I am like, what in the world? This is wild. So this would happen after I was working for like 5-6 hours. Then all of a sudden my wrists would just give out and it wouldn't even give out. It would literally lock and it was so painful. And I'm just like, holy cow, what am I doing? I'm too young to have these problems. I was about 30 at the time. And so I started to get worried and I actually went to the doctor to see if I had carpal tunnel because I was really concerned. And I went in and they're like, nope, you don't have carpal tunnel. And I'm like, okay, what in the world? So they're like, just wear a brace. So I started wearing a brace for work and just years continued and the pain just got worse. And then probably about 2-3 years into that, I started to get like really like the same pain, but in my knees. And I'm like, what in the world? Now it's in my knees. Like, this is crazy. What is going on with me? And then it became in my elbows, or sorry, not my elbows, my ankles. And so then I was like, okay, my wrists, my knees, and my ankles. Okay, there is something deeper to this. This is not like carpal tunnel. This is like something a little bit deeper. So I went into the doctor and I saw a rheumatologist, and super awesome, super nice person. I really thought highly of him. I told him I wanted to go to a natural approach. He said that he wanted to give me medication and he was going to treat me for lupus. Now I was like, wow, lupus, like that is so left field. I was thinking rheumatoid arthritis is what my thought process was. And he's like, nope, it's lupus. And I'm thinking, holy cow. And he's like, here's some medication. I was like, okay, I'm not going to fill it. Thank you so much. And if I super need it, then I will fill it. But until then, I'm going to try my best to heal my body with food and just low key exercise and try to strengthen the muscles around my joints. And he's like, okay, you got it. You just let me know whenever you're ready or you want a different medication or more medication or whatever. I was like, okay, perfect. Sounds good. I'll keep you posted. Years went on and I was able to manage the pain. I would just kind of low key exercise, like I said, and I was eating, I was already gluten-free. And so then I was thinking, okay, I'll just try my best to be dialed in. So fast forward to last year in January, I went and saw a functional medicine doctor and I was just like, okay, I have all these random symptoms. I just want to know what your take on everything is. So he ran some blood work, which I had blood work the first time too. But when you go to a functional medicine specialist or doctor or chiropractor or whoever you're seeing, their blood work is going to be a little bit more dialed in. They do a lot more extensive ordering of labs and things. So he ordered lots of different labs for me, way more than I had at my regular doctor. And he's like, Coral, you don't have lupus. And I'm like, I didn't think I have lupus. And he's like, you have rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm like, thank you. That is what I was thinking it was this whole time. And so I was shocked, but I was also not shocked. But I was like, I'm so glad I wasn't taking the medicine for lupus. Holy smokes, I would have been taking the whole wrong thing. So then I went on a health journey and I did a detox and I did it's an anti-inflammatory protocol, which we called the Healthy Challenge. If you're not familiar with my journey there, you can go check me out on Instagram. I shared my stories as I went through and the foods we were eating and different things. So you can go check that out in my highlight bubbles. And so I was on this mission. I was on this journey for about 6 months, and the inflammation and not just in my joints, but in my gut and everything. I was cleansing liver. I was doing the works on my body and I was seeing results. I was feeling better than I ever had. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. And so today I want to share with you my best 5 tips for calming joint inflammation. I know this because I've lived it. I've studied it. And I now am an integrative health practitioner myself because of the journey I've been on. I have decided to take on and help others calm their inflammation, calm their bodies, find out what can heal their bodies, just like I've been on this journey for years to do that for me as well. So I want to start out. Okay. I'm going to give my best 5 tips. Now, I'm not putting them in a certain order, but I'm also putting them in a certain order. So if I say one tip that you're just like, oh, I can't do that or whatever, I want you to have grace on yourself, be open to hearing it, but then also hear me out. Okay. Just hear me out. If you really want to get dialed in and heal your body, you are going to take the precautions, you're going to take the steps to do so. And it's not until you're really ready that you're even willing to do that. Okay, so I'm going to get started now. Tip number 1, the one that all of us don't even want to hear. Can you guess what that is? It's your food. I know this is the hardest one. This is what I coach people on. This is what my gluten-free transformation program is on. This is what I do with detoxing. This is what I do. This is my passion. So if you're needing help in this area, reach out to me after you finish this whole episode. So your food is one of the main culprits for inflammation. I love the quote that said, let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. And this is so true. It's the one that like we just resist so much, but it's the one that will really heal you without the side effects of medication. Okay. Now, I am not opposed to medication. I just want to put that out there. If you super need it, but if you can do a natural approach and get to that point where you can get off medication or to the point where you don't even need it, that is where I'm at now. And that's where I would love for you to be at. This is where I coach people to get to that point, to know how to fuel your body, to heal your body. I like that. Fuel your body to heal your body. Okay, so as far as food goes, so gluten is a huge culprit. And I know that's what everyone's like, I can't go gluten-free. Well, guess what? You can. And you should if you have autoimmune diseases or if you're having inflammation in your joints or what. Maybe you don't need to be as strict as like a celiac as we have to be. We can't even have a crumb. We can't have cross contact, all of that. But as far as eliminating gluten the best you can, I can help you with that if you're like confused or don't know what that means. Because I didn't either one day. And now I am the gluten-free guru. So gluten, glyphosate, so the pesticides that are sprayed on most of our crops, that's something that will also flame up and cause inflammation and cause your joints to be more inflamed and hurting you more. Another two I want to bring up. So we got gluten, we got glyphosate. So we got the two G's. The next one I want to talk about is your oils. So using a refined oil, getting rid of your vegetable oil, canola oil, those that are going to inflame you, swapping those out with coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil. Those are all really good oils. So switching out your oils. And the last one I want to talk about is your sugar intake. And I know that's another one that's like resistance. I want to remind you that sugar causes inflammation. And I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you feel that. I'm sure when you're like, you just eat that piece of cake, you're like, hey, I'm like not feeling as strong anymore. Like you're feeling weak or your joints are hurting or you can't be at the gym as long or you're wearing braces more like your wrist brace or your knee brace or what. So your sugars, using more of a natural sugar, swap out the white sugar with the coconut sugar, swap out sweeteners for use honey or maple syrup. Really getting clear on what's going to help heal your body is everything. It's not saying don't have any form of sugar. It's just the refined sugars. So learning what to swap out is awesome. I actually have guides. I have clean eats and clean sweets. So my clean sweets cookbook, it's just a digital download. It has what we ate, the recipes that we created and made as a family that my kids love too, when we were on the healthy challenge or the anti-inflammatory protocol or diet, some people call. And learning to swap out your sugars is such a good thing. So your sugar's not spiking, your levels aren't spiking, you're just more grounded. And then that inflammation within your joints can calm that inflammation. So let me recap. My first tip to calming inflammation is food: gluten, glyphosate, sugar, and oils. If you start with those four, I can promise you're going to see a difference. And then if you need to go further, I can help you go further with either a detox or really doing the anti-inflammatory protocol, but just switching out those four things, not overwhelming your life, like not saying, oh, I can never have any oil again. No, it's just, okay, I'm going to buy avocado oil instead, or I'm going to buy olive oil instead, or coconut oil, right? So I actually, in all my cookies now, I use, instead of butter even, I use coconut oil, and oh my goodness, the flavor is amazing. I love it. I love it. So, and same thing with sugar. Instead of using the white sugar, I use the coconut sugar, and man, it tastes so good. Nobody even knows. Sometimes I put a banana in it too. Like, honestly, you can get so creative with eliminating these things. And again, I'm not eating gluten, but I'm having a cookie without gluten or without glyphosate. And those recipes, again, they're in my cookbook. So, and that's my clean sweets. And then I also have clean eats too, if you're really wanting to be dialed in all areas of eating. Okay, so that's my tip number one. Tip number two, both heat and cold therapy may help ease some symptoms of arthritis. Okay, so sometimes I use heat, sometimes I use cold. Like you can use cold for the first 24 hours and then switch to heat. All of those that just helps. Okay. I promise you. I even have like this little roller that I put into the freezer that just kind of like, it's like a little, I don't know, rolling pin, but it's an ice, and I just kind of roll it on, and that feels good. Yeah, there's so many different ice things and heating things that you can buy, use, get creative, you can make, and really, really help you. So let me just explain. So the heat may help relieve the aches and the stiffness, because people are always wondering like, hey, well, what's the difference between hot and cold, and what should I do? So again, heat may help relieve aches and stiffness, and while the cold therapy may help ease the swelling and the pain. Okay, so that is going to be your difference. Okay, so heat relieves aches and stiffness, cold eases the swelling and pain. So if you apply heat or cold to affected parts of the body, that might help relieve the uncomfortable symptoms of arthritis or of joint pain, or, you know, whatever, if you're not diagnosed. Like you can just, so hot and cold. So if it's like swelling, okay, put ice on it. If it's, yeah. And then if it's like achy and stiff, then do heat. Okay. And then you can go back and forth as well. So that's good. So that's my tip number 2. So remember, food is number 1. 2 is heat and cold, hot and cold therapy. 3 is strength training. Now, this is one where people, my followers on Instagram are like, Coral, how in the world do you have rheumatoid arthritis and you're hitting at the gym like hard? And that is something that really has helped fuel me, actually. If you think about your joints, and if you're listening, you're not seeing my arm right now, but if you're watching here on YouTube, you definitely see my arm. If I have a weak wrist and I build up the muscles in my forearm, then guess what happens? When I'm lifting or when I'm whatevering, right? I am able to relieve the pressure off my joints because my muscles are doing the work. If you don't have the muscles, guess what's going to be doing the work? A lot of your joints, correct? So I also will wear a brace on, actually only on my left wrist. My right wrist seems to do a lot better, but on my left wrist, I'm always wearing a brace when I work out, just for precautionary. And then I'm also careful on how I twist my arms. So if I'm doing an arm curl, I kind of have to flare out my arms and almost do it like a hammer curl. Why? Because my wrists don't work like that. Like I just feel it in my wrists too much. And so if I do a hammer curl, it feels a lot better. And I'm very hyper aware of what's going to cause more inflammation later. And if I push myself harder than I ever have, or whatever, if I upped my weights or whatever, and I'm like, ooh, my joints aren't doing so well, guess what I'll do? I'll go back to number 2 and I'll do hot and cold compresses on it until it subsides. And then guess what? My body adapts, my muscles are growing, and then I can handle working out a little bit more. So, maintaining movement. So strength training, maintaining movement, muscle strength, and overall function with physical therapy or exercise is going to help you. Yoga, gonna help you. It might be hard at first because your muscles are like, well, I've never done that. And so your wrists don't know what to do, your knees, your elbows, your ankles, like all of these things, but stretching them out is going to help. Okay. So let me go back. I always like to recap. So we're talking food, then we're talking hot and cold therapy, and then we're talking strength training. Number 4, I actually mentioned this in number 3, wear a brace. Like wear a brace where you need to. So like I said, I wear a brace on my left wrist. If I needed it on both wrists, that I would totally do that too. I just mostly need it on my left. And then if you need a knee brace or whatever, help compress that, help that heal. Use a little Bengay with that, right? Yes, so wear a brace. So go back, food, hot and cold compressions, strength training, wear a brace. My 5th one I'm going to talk about is one of my favorites as well, and that is supplements. Now, supplements are not medication. This is like more of a natural approach, which your body already produces, but maybe it's short in or lacks in, and you need a little bit more. Okay. Chances are, if you're having an autoimmune disease or you're having that inflammation, your body is suffering in an area of vitamins and nutrients. Okay. So I'm going to tell you my top 3 that I love, that I take. The first one is vitamin D. The second one is omega-3 and fatty acids. And number 3, I said omega-3, so I thought I said number 3. Okay, so we got vitamin D, we got omega-3, and then we also have turmeric. Turmeric is all of those are anti-inflammatories, and those are going to help you in your joints. And so I take all 3. I notice the difference. It's not a placebo effect for me. I know. And I'm so grateful that I know how to heal my body. Now, if you're struggling, you think, man, I can't do all of these things. Start with one today. Start with one today. Start stretching, or make your sugar swap, or your oil swap, or start wearing a brace, or start taking turmeric, right? You don't have to do all of them. I'm giving you my best tools that have helped me in my 10 years of suffering with rheumatoid arthritis, that for half of them, I didn't even know I had. More than half, I didn't know I had. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you and motivates you that you're not the victim. You are the hero of your own story. If you have any form of autoimmune disease, or you're just like, I don't know what I got, but my joints hurt, I'm messed up. Guess what? You don't have to be a victim to any of those symptoms, to any of those diseases. You can take power, you can take control, and slowly but surely build on that. It's a mental thing. And if you're at a place where you're like, I don't know if I could even do this on my own, I need help. Guess what? That's what I do. I help coach one-on-one. There are times where I do group coaching. Right now I'm doing a group coaching for a detox, which has been so fun. I love group coaching. But that one-on-one, when you're like, I need to be dialed in, and I need a cheerleader, I need a blueprint, I need all of this to get you to that place. Guess what? I'm here for you. For most of the things, I've been in your shoes. I understand what you're going through. And if I personally haven't, I've dealt with people that have gone through what you have. I'm so grateful that this is my mission in life. You talked to me 15 years ago, I would have been like, gluten-free, what? Like, what is gluten? And now look at me. I talk with the top leaders, helping explain, encourage, love, support, coach, all of these things to thousands of you out there. And I hope that something I said today triggers something that you can be a little bit happier, a little healthier, and make a little bit better choices in your life. So again, we're just going to recap real quick. First thing, your food. Maybe stick with one. Choose one for today, or dial in and do all of it. Your hot and cold compresses, your therapy. Strength training, wear a brace, and take those supplements: vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and turmeric. You take those 3, you're going to be a whole lot better off. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for watching or listening, whatever you're doing. I am just so grateful that you took this time to take care of you, but then also to trust me and what the words that I'm sharing with you and my experience that has helped me. And I just want you to know that I would be so honored to be your gluten-free coach and to create a customized plan or playbook just for you. My gluten-free transformation program offers that. I will literally be with you every step of the way to help you live your best gluten-free life, one play and one bite at a time. So if you're interested, head on over to glutenfreewithcoral.com for more details to join the program or to have that one-on-one coaching. And thank you for tuning in. Double check to make sure that you've subscribed to this podcast or you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss another episode. And if you have a minute, leave a review. I would love that. I read every single one of them, and I'm so grateful for each of you who show up even regularly. Did you know I've been nominated the top gluten-free podcast for 3 years in a row? What an amazing tribute. I'm so honored. And thank you. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for letting me into your world. And go and have the best gluten-free day.